Tom has stolen my tripod and I am having to put up with this. It's actually a more expensive tripod, but it doesn't like my camera. Also, what is going on? Oh man. Gotta redo my hair. I'm rubbish at all things makeup and hair. I'm quite surprised that I even looked at my hair before I started filming this. I'll just check myself over, should I? Let's zhuzh that up. I mean, it looks awful. Let's just check under there. I have been up a long time, so do I look okay? It's not going to get any better than that. Hello and welcome to another Mumdays video. Mumdays. It's Monday. It's Monday, so it's a Mumdays. Hi. I absolutely have no idea why I feel so chipper this morning. I think I'm having such a lack of sleep that I'm a bit delirious. Tom is on tour with the McFly boys, and the last couple of nights on my own with the boys have been a little bit testing. Very nicely, Tom's mum and dad had Buzz over for a night, so he stayed there one night and I was like, I am going to sleep. No, I'm not, because I've got another child. I've got a baby in the house, and Buddy decided to get up that night at 12 to 4 and 7. Usually he wakes up maybe around 4 and then 7, so he just kind of snuck in a few other feeds there. It has been hot, so, and it's the thing, when I'm there on my own, I just go in and I feed him, just because I'm a bit like, I know it will help him get back to sleep. Bad habit, I know, but it's just what I've been doing. Whereas with Tom's here, he can go in with water and sort it out that way. I just think if he's, he'll just get stressed if I go in and try and give him a bottle of water. But last night was particularly awful. I'd say it was the worst night I've had putting Buzz to bed, because he used to be amazing. He used to be absolutely amazing. He used to self-settle. Like, we used to literally be able to put him in his cot awake and he'd put himself to sleep. And then we went to Australia when just before he was 1, and I decided to start rocking him to sleep because of the time difference. Obviously, I wanted him to be sleeping at night time, and just to kind of get him onto that pattern. And then when we came back, he wanted to be rocked to sleep again, which is perfectly, you know, it's an acceptable request. He was having that for 3 weeks, and then suddenly we got home and what, mummy's not gonna rock me to sleep anymore? Where's that joy gone? So I understand. But from then, we've kind of been shot in the foot. If we tried to put him into his bed awake after getting back from Australia, he would literally have full-on meltdowns, to the point where he was shaking and having cold sweats, and I absolutely hated it. So I just decided it was just not something that I wanted to do at all. So we started sitting in his room in the chair while he went to sleep, or kind of shushing him or whatever. And so we you know, we're used to being there when he falls asleep. Then he suddenly got to the point where he was like, okay, mummy and daddy have to go downstairs to go to work, so night, and he'd let us go, and he'd be like, night mummy, see you in the morning, and it was all great, it was amazing. And now he's in his new room. It's all just gone a bit wrong, and Buddy arriving and everything like that, it's all just gone wrong. But last night was awful. It was the worst night ever in the history of putting Buzz to bed. I mean, it started off fairly normally. We were reading, we brushed teeth, it was all nice, it was light, it was fun, and then got to go into bed, and I said that I wasn't going to go into the bed with him, that I was going to sit on the floor while he went to sleep, which was fine. He'd have moments where he looked like he was falling asleep, and then it didn't happen. But we had everything. I was in the bed with him, I was on the floor holding his hand, he wanted the covers on, wanted them off, he wanted water, he wanted milk. I didn't get him the milk because he'd already drunk his milk, but you know, he was just trying everything. And then eventually, when I was trying to be a bit firmer, he would start crying and be like, Mama! Like I was being the worst mum in the history of the world by getting him to go to sleep. And then he just switched, and he was overtired, and he just went berserk. Like, he was probably screaming at me, and it was awful. It was possibly the worst Buzz has ever been with me, and it was really upsetting. So yeah, it was really tough, and I ended up going back into bed with him and kind of holding him and really holding him while he went to sleep. But he was just so hysterical. He was still like screaming in my face, mama, mama, even when I was in the bed with him. And so I started trying to talk about different things, like about his day, and trying to change the subject, trying to distract him from whatever was going on in his head, and he just wasn't buying it, to the point where eventually his murmurs would kind of subside, and it was like he was asleep basically, and he'd have his eyes shut, and he'd be like even gently snoring, and I would move to try and get out of the bed, and he'd start up again, like literally, mama, like I was leaving him in the worst place possible. And it's his bed, and he loves his bed, and he knows his room, and he loves his room. It was awful. And actually, I'm gonna get upset things, but he only stopped crying when I started crying. After I'd been in there for about 2.5 hours, I was just so emotionally drained. I didn't know what to do. So I literally started sobbing, shaking, crying, and I know that a lot of Buzz's tears were completely fake. I know that, but he literally started laughing, because he thought I was laughing at first, and through his hands I could see him laughing and copying me, and it was only for about a minute, but that minute kind of stopped him, and he fell straight asleep. But it's just horrible that it took me to cry to make him stop and for him to fall asleep. And this just can't continue. It can't continue. Straight away I went onto Facebook. I just love, and I've said it before, and I said it last week about the mummy community, but this is why I love the mummy community online. But I went straight onto Facebook and I aired the fact that I felt like a really crap mum, and the responses were amazing. Of people just sharing, not even saying, oh, you, and some of it, well, a lot of it, like, you're great, you keep doing what you're doing, but also having other mums kind of saying, that's happened to me. Don't worry, we're all having a rubbish night. I think when you're in it, you feel like you're the only one who's having your boundaries pushed, and that is experiencing that really difficult struggle. So I think having the Facebook comments and everything really helped. So I thought I would come on here and start the dialogue on here, because I think, you know, I think more and more I'm starting to realise that each community is very different. So for YouTube, for this video, I want you to have a chat, to go to the comments and talk about your children, how they sleep. Do you have terrible nights? Like, let's just share it, let's just get it out there, and let's be honest, because I think being honest as a mum, it is just the best thing ever. I don't think it's about pretending to be perfect. I don't think it's about pretending you've got it all down and that, you know, life is just a breeze. I think it's about sharing moments like this, because we all know there's so much beauty in being a mother. And you know, this morning when Buzz crept into my bed and gave me a hug and a kiss and did his little good morning mama, and my heart melted. And actually, even 10 minutes after leaving him last night, I was just like, all I want is him to come in and cuddle me. So what I mean by that is that it's okay to be in those moments and feeling rubbish, because that doesn't mean that you feel like the whole of motherhood or the whole of parenthood is that. It's just a minute part of it, and the rest of it is joyous and amazing and wonderful. And it doesn't mean that you're ungrateful when you admit that you're struggling. I think it's important to admit that you're struggling. So I'm admitting that I had a very difficult night, and I want you guys to jump on board, to just share. That is what these mum days are all about. That's what I said in the original introduction video. I want people to start a communication. I want people to get talking. I think I was most disappointed last night at the fact that I couldn't handle it. I think that's what upset me the most. But today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We got up early this morning, but it's all fine. And I want to share this with you. This has arrived in the post. My play button. This is for getting 100,000 subscribers. I know I'm on more than that now, but I didn't realise that I had to email someone about it. But yay! 100,000 subscribers, my first play button. I am so happy, and I wouldn't have got this without all of you. So thank you. And also, can I just say, it's actually bigger than Tom's. I don't know. I don't know when they changed it, but hey, my silver play button is bigger than Tom's. I'm very chuffed with that. He's going to be mightily annoyed. But hey, he didn't have to deal with Buzz last night, so swings and roundabouts, swings and roundabouts. I don't know why this is swings and roundabouts, but suddenly it is. I'm going to go. I've got lots of work to do, but I shall speak to you very soon.